It is an honor to be here. I want to tell you a story about a patient. I'll call her Deborah. She was somewhere over 40, and she was in my office because she had a brain aneurysm. And I scheduled the surgery, and then I said to her, Deborah, it's my custom to offer to pray with patients before their surgery. It gives many of them peace and comfort. And if that's something that you would like, you'll need to ask me for that on the day of your surgery. Because I never want to push people into prayer if they don't want it, but I want it to be available if they do. And Deborah said on the day of her surgery, she asked for the prayer. And then she said something that I've never heard anyone say before they climbed onto the operating room table. She said, "It's okay if I die. If it happens, don't worry about it." Well, I just dismissed that comment. Perhaps if I would have been a psychiatrist, that would have given me pause, but alas, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm a neurosurgeon, and we pride ourselves in being focused and unflappable, which also means that occasionally we lack common sense. In surgery, things were going okay, and then there was about a 20-minute span when I wasn't sure that Deborah was going to survive. And doing everything I could technically, as well as praying for her and for me, I was able to repair the aneurysm. And I finished the case and I felt, well, heroic, sort of like a superhero does after they've stopped a speeding locomotive. But I felt as if I'd been dragged a few blocks by that train. But I had on my long white coat and I was going into the recovery room to see Deborah, and I was very proud about what I had done. And as I walked in, I noticed that she had tears in her eyes. And I said, Deborah, your surgery was difficult, but we fixed the aneurysm, and it looks like you're going to do fine. And with tears streaming down her face, she turned away from me and she said, I didn't want to do fine. I was supposed to die. I wanted to die. Well, neurosurgeons are really big on gratitude, and there was none coming from her. But secondly, you might consider with me, if someone says after surgery, I wanted to die, I was supposed to die, what do you say? I'm sorry, we could do it again. I didn't know what to say. I was speechless. And so I did something I have found very useful whenever I'm faced with an emotional patient. I patted her on the hand, and then I called the nurse over to deal with the situation. And I slowly walked away with my tail between my legs, wondering if I had entered some sort of parallel universe where I was supposed to kill people, but I had really worked hard to save them. Well, I saw her in the office 2 weeks later, and I was thinking, as you might be thinking, that Deborah had a new lease on life. She was feeling good now about her life because her aneurysm was fixed. You might think that, but you would be wrong. She was as ungrateful and bitter and angry as she had been after her surgery. Not only that, I could smell the cigarette smoke from her breath, as if she were trying to undo all the hard work that I had just done. And I have to say, it was the last patient of the day, and I really didn't like her. I just wanted to get her out of my office. And I was kind of being nice, entering some things into the computer, and then I felt this sort of nudge in my spirit. that perhaps there was some character growth here if I was willing to investigate. I'm not sure about you, but I like my character growth more in the morning than late afternoon. I like to be refreshed or fresh when I face that kind of character challenge. But I said, Deborah, how long have you wanted to die? And she said, oh, I don't know, a couple of years, I guess. I go to church every week, and I've been praying to die. And I made a mental note that not everyone goes to church for the same reason. I said, Deborah, why do you want to die? She said, oh, I've been married 3 times. No one's going to want me. And as I investigated a little more, I found that she had had an abusive father and a mother who had turned a blind eye, and that she had married her first husband just to get out of the house when she was in high school. And I began to see her as just a little girl who had never been loved, never been nurtured, never been enjoyed or cared about. And so I said to her, Deborah, did you learn anything from those 3 relationships? She said, oh, yeah, I've learned a lot from those relationships. Well, then you're wiser than you were before those relationships, aren't you? Yeah, she said, I guess I'm a little wiser. I said, you say you go to church every week. Well, I know a lot of people in church who are not very kind or compassionate with divorced people, but I bet you are. Oh, yes, she said, I'm very, very compassionate to divorced people. I said, because compassion only comes through suffering. The very word means to suffer with. I think you might have something to offer people in your community. And then I said, I wonder if you could say something, Deborah. Can you say, I am beautiful? Oh, no, I can't say that. I don't believe that, she said. I don't believe that I'm beautiful. I said, who's telling you that? What voice are you listening to? And I wonder if you might argue with that voice, because God says you are beautiful, just the way he made you. Okay, she said, I'm beautiful. I said, no, say it like you mean it. Okay, I'm beautiful. A little volume. And then she got a big smile on her face, and she said, I am beautiful. Exactly, I said. That's exactly what you are, Deborah. Now, can you say, I am intelligent? Oh, no, I'm not very smart, she said. Deborah, are there people that you know that are not as smart as you? Yeah, she said, I know some people who aren't as smart as me. So God has given some people a little more and a little less intelligence than you. Can you be thankful for what you did get? And so she said, okay, I am intelligent. And we went through a few other affirmations, and I'll go through some of those with you in a moment. But I talked with her about forgiving her parents, the fact that the resentment she held was stealing her joy, and that her parents could not give her what they had never received. And I had her make a gratitude list. I said, Deborah, when you get up in the morning, I would like you first thing, before you start thinking about all the things that you don't have and the things that are not going well for you, I wish you would write down 3 things that you're thankful for, that you feel are a blessing to you. And I sent her home. And I received a letter about 3 weeks later, and it said that when she had come home, she started making her gratitude list, and she started to cry. And she realized that her parents could not give her what they had never received. And she said, I forgave them. And as I made my list of things that I was thankful for, I realized that I had been given piano lessons. And I went down to the elderly care center, and I've begun playing the piano. And they love me there. They love it when I play, and I love to play for them, and it gives me great joy. And I do have a purpose in life, and I no longer want to die. Thank you for taking the extra time with me. And I'd like to go through a few of the affirmations with you. I think it's been a difficult, busy week for many of you getting here, parents, family, graduates, faculty. To just get to this day has been busy. And I wonder if we could say out loud some of these affirmations, because it's good for us to hear them and to hear our own voices say them. The things that we say have great power. So I'd like you to repeat these after me, if you will. Family, friends, graduates, faculty. Let's say, I am beautiful. Let's say it again. I am beautiful. There we go. I am intelligent. I am a treasure. I am thankful for this body, that it has gotten me this far. I have made mistakes, but I have learned from them. I'm fun to be with. I bring things to this world that nobody else brings. I do some things better than others, and some things worse. Other people will enjoy being with me. Not everyone will enjoy being with me. And that's okay, because people don't determine my value. I give myself permission to make mistakes and to learn from them. You see, we are trained, expertly trained, to figure out what is wrong with people, to diagnose them. But there are people like Deborah who are literally dying to know what is right with them. It is easy to see the flaws in your patients and your family members and your colleagues. You see, anyone can see dirt. It takes some skill and some effort to find the gold hidden in the dirt and to call it forth. Sometimes when it gets too hard and you may not be able to see it, you can ask God to show you, and He will be glad to show you the beauty that is in the people around you. So go and encourage and speak life to those around you, showing compassion on those with weakness, because when you do, it will give them joy, and it will add joy to your life. God bless you. Thank you.